Hello friends, today we're going to be talking about how to make your home a vacation rental. How can you make your home a vacation rental? Is it as easy as just listing it on Airbnb or Vrbo? It's not. As a matter of fact, there's some really important things to put in place before that. And by the end of this video, I will give you all the details on how to make your home a vacation rental. I occasionally get questions from people that want to get started in the vacation rental business, and they want to start simply by just turning their home or a home that one of their friends own or a neighbor owns or a relative owns into a vacation rental property. And that certainly isn't a bad idea, but there's definitely some things you need to do in order to transition it from your home or a relative's home into a vacation rental. And we'll dive into this today in this video and cover everything and go through all the steps that you need to do to take your home from an existing home to a vacation rental property. If you're ready, let's go. Now there's a lot of guides online that will tell you how to take your home and change it to a vacation rental property, but very few of them give you a step-by-step process on exactly how to do that. So I think the first thing you need to do, you need to put yourself in the frame of mind of somebody who is visiting, vacationing, and wanting to stay at your home. If you have that as your base from the get-go, that's going to put you in the right frame of mind to put all the things in place if you're vacationing there. So as I jump into this, I'm going to break it up into two different categories. Things to do prior to preparing your house, and number two is prepping your house to become a vacation rental. So let's talk about the things you need to do prior to prepping the house. Number one, you've got to check local ordinances. Regulations are a huge topic in the short-term and vacation rental world, and understanding those regulations and ordinances are so important for you making that step forward into the vacation rental business. Nothing would be more discouraging than you doing all that work, turning your home into a vacation rental, only to find out that ordinances do not allow you to have it as a short-term rental. And those could be city restrictions, those could be neighborhood covenants, all those things might restrict it. You know, I had a good friend of mine who he had owned a home in Southeast Idaho and moved over to Wyoming to be a teacher, and in a certain area there he thought, you know what, I'm not selling my home, I'm going to rent it out as a short-term rental. And he started doing that only to find out that ordinances through the city had just come out saying that short-term stays had to be at least 30 days. Obviously he was pretty discouraged because he had people staying there that wanted to go to Yellowstone or to the Tetons or other areas, and he couldn't do it anymore. So at that point, he really looked to sell his home. At the time, he had a really good strategy in place that was paying his mortgage and making him a little extra money. Second thing you need to do is research the market. Even if it's the market you live in, you've got to dive in and do the research. So you've got to see what type of demand exists for vacations in that area. And obviously, if you live there, if it's your home or if it's relatives' home in the area, you should be intimately familiar with that. But I would still get on the internet and do some additional research, because I found just living where I'm at, I probably couldn't tell you any of the data or tourism numbers of the city that I live in. And that's data that I do for any home that I'm going to buy anywhere. And you're also going to want to look at the competition in your area. Go to Airbnb, Vrbo, look at other listings that are in your neighborhood, see what they're doing right, see what they're doing wrong, look at the reviews, and see where you could make improvements if you turn your home into a vacation rental. Second thing you need to do is look into short-term or vacation rental insurance. Most homeowners insurance is not applicable when it comes to turning your home into a short-term or vacation rental property. You will need much more liability insurance than you currently have. And there is insurance out there that is specific for short-term rentals. And just talking to your local agent, he'll be able to give you guidance or point you in the right direction on somebody that can offer that. And one thing I found is some of the insurance out there for short-term rentals, they even have a policy on there that if something were to happen in the area or to the home where you could not rent it out and it would normally be rented out, they'll even pay you some insurance money for opportunities that you missed out on because it's something that's out of your control. So make sure that you look into the insurance specific for short-term rentals or vacation rentals. Next thing I would do, and I would definitely do this, I'd talk to your neighbors. Many times, letting your neighbors know what you're going to do is going to be really important, because just doing it and not talking to them, there might cause a rift or frustrations. But if you go to them beforehand, say, listen, this is what I'm looking to do. I'd love you to help. If you see anything, if you notice anything out of the ordinary, that almost gets them on your side immediately. So rather than them experiencing it all of a sudden from shock and awe, you know, you go to them, your arm around them, you talk to them about what you're going to do. It sets it up so much better than just surprising them. Matter of fact, when we bought our home in Blue Ridge, Georgia, it was occupied as a home. It wasn't a short-term rental. And on that street, we lived on a dead-end street. A lot of those homes were permanent residents or a second home for a lot of people that lived in Atlanta. And so needless to say, a ton of them weren't super excited. But I went and talked to our neighbors who was at the end of the street, which is our next door neighbor, and let them know what we were going to do. She was so cool about it. She says, you know what, we'll keep an eye on your property. And she has. We email back and forth all the time. Matter of fact, she now probably rents out our property property 2 or 3 times a year when she has a lot of family coming into town because it's right next to her. So it's been wonderful. I even saw some neighbors when I stayed there, when I was transitioning it into a vacation rental, that I just talked to on the street. I introduced myself, let them know who I was, what I was looking to do. It's made a world of difference just having the neighbors on my side in that area when most of them aren't vacation rentals in that area. Also, make sure you have systems in place. Whether you plan to manage it yourself or have somebody else manage it for you, you've got to make sure that all those systems are there. You've got cleaners, you've got maintenance, and maybe you'll be that person. Maybe you'll be the person that cleans it, that maintains it, but having those things in place beforehand will save you time, energy, and frustration. Now let's talk about house prep. First off, you've got to take down everything that personalizes the home to you. Family pictures, any souvenirs, or anything that might link it to you and your family. Take all those things down. I had a good friend that lived in Ashton, Idaho. He had a lot of people that were wanting to vacation there. They decided to rent out a townhouse that was about 20, 30 minutes away and stay there during the summer where they rented out their home. And every time they rented out their home, they'd have to take all the stuff down, put it in a locked closet, but it was doable. But that's the first thing you've got to do, is just make sure all the personal things are taken down or put away. Next thing you need to do is stock the home with all the essentials. Obviously, think about what you would want to have if you were going to a vacation and staying at a vacation rental. And there's hundreds of lists online of everything to stock your home with. But what I've found is very useful is think of each individual room. What do they need? They probably need a nightstand by the bed, something they can plug into if you had some power right next to it or part of that nightstand. Think about the kitchen, think about the living room, think about all the different rooms, and even go online and just find a list of all the things that you need. You got to make sure they have the essentials. Next thing I would do is have a locked closet for your personal stuff. Something that the guest can't get into, but something that you have access to that's really easy. If you need to get some additional towels or cleaning supplies, bed sheets, it's maybe stocked in there, or some of your personal stuff that's stocked away in that closet. Having a locked closet is important. We have that in all of our vacation rental homes. Next thing is determine house rules and even put a guest book in place that has all the recommendations of all the house rules and places where they can go eat, things to do, and things that might be even special for that area that you might know about that other people that don't own in the area might not know about. We have something in every vacation rental that people stay at where we send them an email of all the things to do, all the places to eat, things that are unique. We also have a section called Hidden Gems on places to go and places to stay. We always get tons of comments and reviews all around that little email. So having that guest book in place with rules and things to do is also really important. Another important thing, you're going to want to provide a keyless entry. So get somebody in there that can install a keyless entry, because you don't want to have to deal with keys, losing keys, replacing keys. Having a quick code that people can use to get in your home is vital. And before you actually list it, I recommend doing a deep clean, just so it's sparkling, it's nice and clean. That's going to set the precedence from the get-go that you have a clean place, and it'll make it easier on the cleaners every time they go. And I usually plan about twice a year to do a very deep clean, maybe a full day where I block it off the calendar that my cleaners can go in and just absolutely clean everything spotless. Finally, you're ready to go. Put your home on Airbnb or Vrbo and make sure that you understand pricing dynamics, right? There's tools out there to help with that. Price Labs is amazing. There's always some seasonality in most of the areas where you have a vacation rental property. Making sure you understand that is going to be important when you list the property there, to know what price, at which days, which months to list it at, because there's going to be changes depending on seasonality and the demand to stay there. These are things that I've done, and I've actually done it specifically for one home that wasn't a vacation rental, and I went through this exact process to turn our home in Blue Ridge from a regular home that somebody lived at into a vacation rental property. I would love to know what you've done, what your experience is, so please comment below. Let's engage in a dialogue. And as always, just for stopping by and watching the video, I've got a free gift for you. It's aaron'sfreetraining.com. It is a vacation rental calculator. You put in all the data, all the expenses, all the revenue, and it spits out to you whether it's a good deal or not. It's what I've used for every single one of my vacation rental properties, and it's free just for stopping by. And once again, thanks for stopping by. Have an amazing day.